what really happened to Ojukwu's men when they got to fight, and what was Ojukwu's strategy in that war. If you are from the southeast, I hope I find this thing very fast. If I'm from the southeast and you understand what I'm about to read right now, just understand the fact that that person that took people to war had no plans. The book is The Tragedy Without Heroes by Hilary M. Ojukwu. So you see how powerful, how powerful it was. All right. This is The Tragedy Without Heroes, page 128. This happened in July. By the way, this man was the head of the Biafran army. His name is Hilary Ojukwu. His book is called A Tragedy Without Heroes, page 128. As the Nigerian army realized that we had no answer to their armament, they gained in courage. By the end of July 1967, they had firm foothold in Nsukka, Obolo Eke, and Ogoja areas. Infiltrators were streaming into the rivers and cross-river areas. Boni was their main target. The most crucial day of this particular phase was the 10th of July 1967. The head of state, that's Ojukwu, had earlier poured into Enugu a large contingent of mixed age of males from Abam, Abriba, and Hohafia. His strategy was similar to that of the Chinese, the human wave. These men, armed with machetes, dane guns, and a few 12-bore sporting guns, were sent to the Nsukka front. At the sound of mortar and machine gun fire, they ran like drunken monkeys to different directions, but certainly not forward. They were recalled to Enugu, put into the train, and were taken back to Umuahia. The point here is this: they heard the sound of machine guns. I'm not the one that said it. Like Ojukwu said, they ran like drunken monkeys. One scatter like drunken monkeys to different directions, but certainly not forward. That's the army that Ojukwu boasted. He said to Papa, he said, I'm no longer an underdog. This was on 6th of May 1967. Ojukwu told Papa that I'm not an underdog. I have built the most powerful army in Black Africa. That's Ojukwu. All words, no action. The greatest Black army, they give them machetes to go fight. I'm not saying, I'm not laughing at the people. I'm just wondering how the greatest army didn't even have guns. Anyway, let's read a bit more. On this particular day, the 10th July, the 5th day of the war, we got information from the front that the Nigerian army had attacked in large numbers and overrun Biafran positions at the Nsukka sector. His Excellency took Colonel Philip Effiong with him to the front. They met the forces at Okehe Secondary School compound. They did everything to get the troops back to fight, but did not succeed. His Excellency returned to Enugu. On arrival, he telephoned me to see him. He was in tears. He said, quote unquote, all is lost. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. Because everybody begged him. Everybody begged him. Don't go to war. Yoruba kings begged him. Awo, one man saw immortal Awo, begged him, don't do this thing. He said, no, I have the strongest army in the world. Let's listen to the special number just to understand the concept of what Hilary Ojukwu is talking about. This is straight from South Sudan. Listen and be blessed.
I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes.
All right. Ojukwu says, Atuke, I could not believe my eyes. That's the inspiration. That's the inspiration for that song. It's a wonderful inspiration. It says, Atuke, I could not believe my eyes. All along the way were refugees streaming towards Enugu on Nsukka Enugu Road. By the way, let me stop here and say something. Say somebody says here that history has a way of repeating itself. No, history doesn't repeat itself. Folks who don't learn from history repeat history. And I can assure you, the way the Southeast is going, I just pray that it doesn't end up, because, and I will tell you this, no matter how many times they do it, they will always fail. Let's move to the next page. It gets sweeter. I did not write this book, King Ibedu. It is Biafran head of army that wrote this book. And if you notice, in this matter, I rarely bring up Yoruba books so that people not start shouting, hey, it's from Yoruba. Let's read something else that Ojukwu had as a strategy. The situation was like employing a bicycle to do the work of a bulldozer. Another funny incident that took place during the early period of the war was an exposure of how hopeless and helpless the Biafran government found itself in the face of Nigerian onslaught. The government resorted to all sorts of means, including imaginary ones. I was on a visit to the 51st Brigade with its headquarters at Okehe. The brigade commander, Colonel Anthony Eze, who was formerly the head of the Nigerian Army Signal Corps and one of the dynamic founding fathers of the Biafran Army, called my attention to a message from the defense headquarters. The bearers of the message came in a Land Rover bearing defense headquarters signs. The message was addressed to the brigade commander direct from the defense headquarters and signed by Brigadier Imo. In the Land Rover was a white cock. Adiye fufun ohun lagba, adiye awa lagba. In the Land Rover was a white cock. Akuko fufun. The message was that, quote, the head of state directs that the bearer should be attended to. The brigade commander talked to the man. He was a juju man, sent apparently to do what Napoleon could not do, which is to drive away Gowon from the territory of Biafra. At that juncture, I boarded my car in disgust and returned to Enugu. The juju man's chants, this is what the juju man was saying, Gowon afuna uzo, Gowon afuna uzo, and his reaction to artillery shell that fell near the brigade headquarters as he was about to perform his ritual spread like wildfire throughout Nsukka sector of the war. That was the last we saw of him.
I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes.
I cannot believe my eyes. They use Jujuma for war. Now, am I doing this? If you notice, I was jumping some sections. That's the section that has to do with humans, like Biafrans, like human beings who were suffering. I decided not to read that part because I don't want it to look like I cannot believe my eyes is supposed to like taunt anybody. But I can taunt Ojukwu and his soldiers 1 billion times, and I will. Because there is no sense in going to fight. Like, you didn't even have to. You didn't have to. And the people have no, maybe they don't know what happened. Your guy, they send Juju man to war front. Down they say, go on, afuna uzo. Now that thing, and they're not going to say, boom, boom, yeah, Jesus Christ. You know, when DBI begin to shout Jesus Christ, you may say, water don't pass Gary. Now waiting DBI shout that they just say, boom, now bomb, just throw on artillery, just say, boom, hey, Jesus Christ, afuna uzo. Come out. That's the person who went to war.